Hi guys, my name is Samantha King and I'm an artist. I'm a wall muralist and I do also canvas paintings like the one you see behind me. One of the styles of art that I absolutely love is doodle art because it's so simple and so not age specific. Whether you're 6 years old or 90 years old, you could totally do doodle art and it would be fun regardless. So it's something that's proven tool in therapy as well. So I hope you love the video and I hope you do try your own hand at illustrating using doodle art. And if you are interested in learning or commissioning any type of artwork, please do follow me on my art page, artist_Sam King on Instagram, and I will respond. I hope you like the video. Please feel free to try your own illustration and please stay safe. So I'm going to make a video to show you what doodle art is all about. Firstly, doodle art is about having fun with a pen on a piece of paper. And it's essentially just filling shapes and patterns into larger shapes and patterns. And it's going to be really fun because you can fill any type of pattern you want into the shape you've drawn. So for this video, I'm going to use two types of pens, two types of nibs. So there's an Artline 0.7 and an Artline 0.1. Now this is just what I'm using because it's something I'm used to doing. You can try drawing using the normal gel pen, like a black gel pen or a blue pen, whatever you have at home, just to see how you like doing this activity, right? And I'm going to show you how to create depth using just this pen, the smaller one. And this is just for the outline. So if you had like a marker pen at home, it could be used as an outline pen, and the normal gel pen can be used as the filling pen. Firstly, we're going to draw a very, very common shape, a flower with 6 petals. Essential that the number of petals has to be even so that we can create depth and symmetry using patterns easier. Because if it's asymmetrical or if it has odd number of petals, it's not going to be very symmetrical. So we have one flower. We're going to draw another flower with a different shape of petals. And we're going to give him 2 leaves too. And we're going to cover all these empty spaces with patterns, because that's what doodling is. And you fill it in a way that it kind of creates a sense of harmony in the illustration. And thirdly, we have another guy who looks a little bit different, but it doesn't matter. We'll fill him with the same love. Okay, so we give him 2 leaves too. Okay. So, firstly, in a drawing, in an illustration, there is positive space and there's negative space. Now, I will help you identify the negative space, which is these portions, right? Because they don't really make any sense. So what we're doing at first is to fill them up so that they turn into a positive space by helping to bring the flowers forward. Because after we're done with them with different patterns, they're just going to look really, really pretty. And we're going to need them to be highlighted. For the filling pattern, if you have a marker, it's ideal. I don't have one lying around now, which is why I'm using the thicker pen, but should get the job done. So once we've colored all the negative spaces out, our flowers really pop. And now we're going to start the filling of the flowers. Now I'm going to use this pen just for one more activity, which is drawing tiny circles in the center of this flower, which is our first doodle pattern. And like I said, doodling is just basically filling patterns and shapes into larger shapes and patterns. And what makes something a pattern is basically repeating the shape everywhere. Within the limits, obviously, but yeah. Next, we're gonna have a hatch. Hatching is also a different, another term that people use to describe what we're doing now. We're basically filling a pattern into a shape. That's hatching. Hatching is a tool that a lot of architects and interior designers and artists use to create illustrations of their designs, of anything really, to create depth, and it's very essential. So now we've got our second pattern, which is fish scales. Now fish scales can be used very, very differently. These are the normal fish scales. What I'll do in these two is basically show you a different version of the fish scales, which in my opinion is more fun. It has more depth. So we're gonna do 2 or 3 lines. To create an illusion of depth. So yeah, we can develop on fish scales a lot. They're just basically concentric semicircles. And of course, I will be teaching you all these patterns separately so that we can learn how to do them in normal shapes before we put them into drawings. Now we're going to fill the leaves. When I fill leaves, I like to give it a little wave to kind of create a flow in the leaves, like in the growth of the leaves, kind of a natural flow, you know, rather than just put like normal lines. Kind of creates a little bit of a natural flow. I'm going to do the same for this leaf. I will show you other patterns of how to fill leaves in the other flowers that I've drawn. This is my personal favorite though. It's very simple and it creates, again, the illusion of depth. Trust me, the illusion of depth is far more important than how I make it sound. We're gonna go ahead and do the same for this guy. Okay. Now we're gonna fill the other flower. There's no rules to this. You can even make up your own pattern. It will be a lot of fun to create your own pattern. It just needs to look symmetrical and aesthetically pleasing. This one is a take on the fish scales again, but much more haphazard. And in the next petals, I'm going to try something funner. Just to show you that doodling can be a lot of fun. It's also widely used as a therapeutic tool. It's supposed to help you create some breathing space for your brain. Given the days and situations we've got now, I'm sure people need this tool far more than they think. Now here what I've done is used these normal looking lines, and created a pattern to kind of mimic the veins of the leaf. And I think this is what makes doodling so fun. It's so random. It just needs to look similar to the real thing and it'll make sense, you know. in a world that doesn't make sense, I think this is something that all of us need. We need something to make sense. And so we try it. Okay, so now we're going to do the third leaf. Now, if you notice that here I have used alternating patterns so that they kind of look fun and more different, but I'm going to teach you how to create the same effect using a much more boring pattern, I would say, to use the same thing on all petals. You just need to know how to manage your spaces. Now, we're going to, this portion alone, we're going to differentiate it into two different spaces so that we make it fun. You see, I'm still using the outline pen to kind of give it more depth. Trust me, you've won half the battle if you give your drawing depth. It's all about the depth. Now, we're going to make this a little more fun using just normal straight lines, as you can see here. So that now we've created two areas that we need to fill, just with one single line. Did you see? I think this is what makes doodling so fun. You draw a line and it changes the entire drawing. And there's no wrong line. Unless you scribble all over something that beautiful that you've created, there's really nothing wrong you can do with doodling. Now we're going to do new patterns in our newly created petals. So even though all petals are the same, they're still fun because you've played around with these different types of patterns. And that's also something that doodling is about. Now we're going to try a different approach to the leaves. We're going to do curved lines. Not wavy, not straight, kind of crescent lines. And if I'm drawing too fast, don't worry about that. It's just from experience. Once you get the hang of hatching in between shapes, you can do this pretty much every day of your life and it won't be that difficult. Now I'm going to do the same curve pattern in the opposite direction. You'll see that it creates kind of a different vibe to the leaf. I don't know how you call these leaves. I mean, if there's a biologist in the house, you would know. But there's a term for leaves that grow outward and there's a term for leaves that grow inward. I'm not sure what they are, but so irrelevant. So that's a doodle and it's basically a scribble on a paper, but with meaning. Like you've given all these flowers meaning by blacking out the negative spaces. And you've given each petal meaning by giving it depth. And the same goes with the leaves. You basically fill patterns into spaces that kind of give the object meaning, you know? And this kind of illustration can be used, like I said in the beginning, for greeting cards, for postcards, for bookmarks, even family portraits. And the possibilities are endless. There's so many things you can do with doodling. Oh, and I almost forgot, you can never ever leave a drawing without signing it once you've done it. So don't ever forget to do that. Yep, now we're done. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Obviously, regarding the pens and the material, I will help you with that once you guys book your slots. But it's not hard to get. You can probably get it at your local supermarket if you want to use these to try the illustration out, or you can just use your normal black gel pen or your marker pen if it's a larger medium, obviously. Yeah, so you can try this at home and see if you like it, and if you do, I will be seeing you guys soon and teaching you in person, hopefully, or virtually, how to doodle. Thank you.